Let's be honest. Most people don't start a business thinking about compliance. They start because they want freedom, income, flexibility, or a way out of a tough situation. Compliance is rarely part of the dream. It only becomes important when something goes wrong. And by then, it's usually expensive. This post is for entrepreneurs who want to understand compliance before SAR, CIPC, or any government department forces the lesson the hard way. So, what exactly is business compliance? In simple terms, it means running your business legally and correctly according to South African laws. It means your business is properly registered, known to the right authorities, submitting correct returns, paying the right taxes, and keeping records. When a business is compliant, it can operate without fear. When it's not, it operates on borrowed time. Most entrepreneurs don't ignore compliance because they're careless. They ignore it because nobody explained it clearly. It sounds complicated, feels expensive, and when focused on survival, compliance feels like a problem for later. Many business owners genuinely believe they'll fix it once the business is more stable. For a while, that decision seems fine. Money comes in, clients pay, and life goes on. Until one day a bank account is frozen, a tender is rejected, or an email from SARS arrives. Or CIPC suddenly shows your company as deregistered. That's when compliance becomes very real. In South Africa, compliance is not handled by one department. It's spread across multiple bodies, and they communicate with each other. CIPC is where your company legally exists. If CIPC says your company doesn't exist, everyone else treats it the same way. SARS is where your tax life lives. If SARS is unhappy, nothing else moves smoothly. Not banks, not funding, not tenders. If you have employees, registrations like UIF and COIDA become critical, both to protect your staff and to protect you from legal risk. BBEE affects who you can do business with, especially when dealing with corporates and government. The Central Supplier Database determines whether you can trade with government and state-owned entities. Compliance means being in good standing with all authorities. When a business is not compliant, the risks are serious. Penalties and interest from SARS can build up quietly. Audits can be triggered, bank accounts frozen, tax clearance lost, businesses blocked from tenders, rejected for funding, or even deregistered. Contracts can be lost, and stress shows up where you didn't plan for it. The worst part is these problems don't always come with warnings. One day you're operating normally, and the next you're fixing damage instead of growing your business. Many entrepreneurs think compliance is just paperwork, but it's actually protection. Compliance is a form of risk management. It protects you from surprise tax bills, legal disputes, business shutdowns, personal liability, and reputation damage. When your compliance is in order, you move with confidence. You don't panic when SARS emails. You don't scramble when a client asks for documents, and you don't lose sleep over audits. That peace of mind is priceless. It is also important to understand that being compliant does not automatically mean your business is profitable. A business can be fully compliant and still struggle financially, but a business that is not compliant will struggle, even when money is coming in. Compliance doesn't make you rich, but it allows you to access opportunities, such as funding, loans, tenders, corporate clients, investors, and partnerships. Without compliance, those doors remain closed. In South Africa, there is a clear difference between a hustle that survives month to month and a business that can grow, scale, and attract serious money, Compliance is one of the biggest differences. When your business is compliant, banks take you seriously, corporates trust you, government systems accept you, and investors are willing to listen. You stop being that small business and start being seen as a real player. The organized entrepreneur understands that being organized does not mean being perfect. It means being intentional. An organized entrepreneur knows when returns are due, keeps records, separates finances, updates details on time, fixes issues early, and doesn't wait for penalties to force action. They don't operate in fear. They operate with clarity, and compliance is what gives them that clarity. One of the biggest mistakes entrepreneurs make is postponing compliance to save money. In reality, penalties cost more, interest adds up, reinstating companies costs more, fixing years of mess costs more, and stress costs more. Doing things right from the beginning is always cheaper than cleaning up later. Business compliance is not about impressing the government. It is about protecting what you're building. If you're serious about your business, even if it's still small, compliance should matter to you. Because in South Africa, compliance is the difference between a business that survives and a business that grows. And the organized entrepreneur always chooses growth.